Greetings. So I left off last time, made a huge mistake. I posted the wrong video. So the September 3rd video is supposed to go in front of, in chronological order, a September 4th video. All right, so I had my first initiation into basic training into the U.S. military. And I loved it. I loved all the yelling, I loved all the chaos, because I found myself, Luke, go. I found myself in a situation where I could thrive because all it was working under extreme duress. And if you just slow down, you can accomplish miracles, or you can accomplish the task. One of the most basic tasks, we had a footlocker, and this footlocker had a key. The key was around your neck, and you had to bend down the first night and unlock the footlocker. Now, the way this worked was you locked it and unlocked it via the key. So when people unlocked it, they immediately tried to stand up. Well, the key wouldn't come out of the lock. So now you're a slave to the ground. And you start panicking because they're counting for you to get back up. Because it's an exercise, you do it over and over again with repetition. You're in a towel because we just got out of the shower. Literally 2/3 naked, flip-flops on. And everybody's panicking because if the count goes down, we're gonna be doing push-ups and have to do the whole exercise and go in, start the showers again and clean the showers with the towels that are around our waist. Butt-ass naked, wiping down a institutional U-shaped shower with about 8 heads per wall. And I remember the guy next to me, just like a animal in a snare, trying his valiantly. Grab his shoulder, told him to calm down, just lock it, and remove the key. He did that, stood up, we were fine. And that's how the rest of my time, it set a precedent, and that's how the rest of my time would go. I started to love everything that happened to me there because the exercising was nothing. Get up at 5 in the morning. I practiced Division I college basketball at 5 in the morning. But you're talking push-ups, sit-ups, ab work, pull-ups, and running at 5 in the morning, no problem, easy peasy. I got to find out that, hey, I could run like a gazelle, but I ran with B flight. A flight was the marathoners, I called them. They would take off like literal Kenyan marathoners and be gone. The B flight I could run with, I set the pace for because I was the dorm chief. I was the leader of 50 people, couldn't believe it. If I ever wanted a moment to myself, I would have to run by myself. So what I ended up doing in the morning time, because the TIs, the training instructors, would be hammering us. I mean, just hammering us with PT. And I was a glutton for that punishment. I'm like, I'm built for this mess, let's go. So I could breeze through the PT, but the running I suffered in. I hated running long distance, but it became my bastion, my segue to peace, because I could separate myself from running in between the A and the B group and run on my own. And I could be alone. Alone in my mind, alone with my thoughts, alone with no responsibilities. I didn't have to yell at anybody. I didn't have to encourage anybody. I just had to run, and I loved it. And I talked about always wanting to be a leader. And I also talked to you about realities having consequences. The reality of the leadership was thus: you want that responsibility until it comes with consequences and a huge amount of responsibilities. I was getting smoked. Smoke means yelled at, made to do push-ups and things like that for somebody else not shining their shoes, for somebody else's bed not being made, for somebody else's being out of ranks or not being shaved properly or something. I was getting smoked left and right. And I'm like, this sucks. Also, they couldn't pee without me saying yes or no to it. I was like, what in the hell, man? But quickly you assume the role because I wanted to do that. And I wasn't good at marching, but I became good at marching. And the thing I was good at was masking our deficiencies. We had non-English speakers. We had guys who had never been around black people because they lived in Bangor, Maine, in the hills of Bangor, Maine. And the first black people they've ever physically ran into was at the airport when they were coming here. Now they're being led by a black person. We had people who hydrophobic, also had fear of heights, people who I would not trust with a weapon, people who were running away from the law, drug users, alcoholics, losers like myself, who just were not ready for the responsibility of life. Thugs, wannabe thugs, athletes, whatever, but we were a unit. I love the unit. I love the unity. I love masking our deficiencies. I loved leading. I loved marching us to and from places. I loved watching us grow as a unit. I hated yelling at people. I remember what ended up happening, I would have to write a nightly report on something that I saw was a deficiency. And in this nightly report, I would give it the next day to the TI. And the TI would just read it and just tear somebody a new one. So I gathered everybody together. After about the third time this happened, I'm like, the only thing we have of value in here is sleep. What I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna write you up and report you to the TI. I'm not an ARC. I'm tired of this. This is bullshit. We're gonna handle our problems internally. I'm like, if you screw up, I'm putting you on a door guard, which is a night shift. You'll be up at night, patrolling the dorm, making sure we're all safe, twice a night. Don't screw up. And that worked out well, because once you start understanding that discipline needs to be kept in-house, your problems need to be kept in-house. Because if you broadcast them out to the world, now they're real problems. But if I can handle it within, I'm handling it within. I would yell and scream. I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore, because one time we got in trouble. Somebody took a crap in a crapper that was broken. In Latrine Queen, that was one of the duties. Each person had duty, had to clean it up. And the kid is damn near crying to me about having to reach his hand in and pull shit out. Understandable. But I took the whole troop in there and started screaming at them. All 50 of us were in there. And it was in the bathroom. We all fit. And I'm yelling. Just yelling at the top of my lungs. I'm seeing these guys recoil because I was angry. I was very, very angry, because it was a simple thing. Everyone knew not to take a shit in there. It was a simple thing. Come to find out later, it was a different dorm guard from a different troop that came and guarded our dorm when we were gone. So that made more sense than anything. But I looked at myself when I was yelling and screaming, veins popping out of my neck, sweat pouring down my face, rage in my eyes. I mean, you look like a damn monster. Like, this is effective. Nobody's shitting here from here. But you missed the point. Like, I don't want to do this. I'm on a horse. I'm exhausted. Blood pressure through the roof. All this crap. like maybe that's not effective leadership, because I remember having that happen to me when I was in college basketball, when I played football, all those, I didn't like that. So why in the hell am I doing it to these guys? So maybe treat them with dignity and respect, and there's another way. So I started adopting that, and it really worked. We excelled. Everything we did, we excelled. We had, it's called being recycled. I only lost 2 guys to recycling. One because English was not his first language, and 2 because he cut up in front of the base commander. And I couldn't help either one of those guys. And I was proud of that. So next time I'll get into more depth about basic training, because it was such a highlight of my life. It was so much fun. And I'll talk about the food and some of the mannerisms of basic training. Until next time, again, I encourage you to be the reason somebody smiled. Be the reason someone smiles today. And I'll see you next time. Take care.